My name is Ron Tadlock. Been divorced actually separated since March of 2012. Been divorced about a year, and I have two children, um, 12 and 15, and they live in the East Bay, and I'm in the process of moving back to the East Bay, be closer to them, and so, yeah, it's just I'm 53 years old and have a twin, and it's all good.
Awesome. All right, Ron. So, Ron, how's the ministry helping you?
The ministry's it's awesome. I really enjoy it. I've been doing it, gosh, I don't know, about a year or so, I guess, or longer, and I really enjoy it. And we're having this party together now, and just friendships and a lot of mentoring. Not say mentoring, but just encourage each other, relationships, and encourage each other and be there for each other. Very important, very crucial. I've got a ton out of it, that's for sure.
Awesome. So, what have the relationships in the group meant to you?
What have they meant to me? The relationships in the groups, what they meant to me is it's on a personal level. It's nice to know that you have people that you could pray with, that can encourage you, that you can encourage. What it's meant to me, answer the question is it's meant a lot to my recovery in regards to growing because of the pain I've been going through because of the separation and divorce and not seeing my children. So that alone is huge, is tremendous because I know that I can text somebody, I can text Bob, Gary, whoever, and say, hey, pray for me, I'm going through this, or how are you doing? I can call and say, hey, how you doing? If I don't go to the group on the Tuesday night, there's things that we can reach out to each other. Even if you haven't seen somebody in a couple weeks, it's, you build a bond, you build that friendship, and pretty kind of is like being like accountability. So
Awesome. Awesome. Uh, Love and acceptance, man. How you feeling in the group?
love and acceptance for sure. That's one thing about I joke about. The saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's kind of a corny expression, but it's like we have in our group we people go around and they share what's going on in their life, and you show respect to the person. And in regards to like don't judge them, or it's more like encouraging and gives the person a chance to say what's going on in their week, what's going on in their life, and we get to know everybody's different circumstances and or with their relationship and their family, and it makes it nice because it's kind of like we're all like transparent. I don't know if that's a really good way of saying it, but it's like because we're open and it's respectful, and that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Last question. So to you, how is this different? How's the group different than going to a church service?
The church service is you have the service, you have the worship and all that. That's typical service that I'm used to going to. This has excuse me. You have more of the I guess you would say it's like you have the worship in regards to you still is God centered. You still focus on the God and what God means to us, but it's a different form of worship because instead of like going to service, I raise my hands, I praise God, and I get in it. I love that, and you focus on worshiping God. This is more like because of the music and all that. This is more like a worship, recognizing God, praising God in regards to what God's done in our life. Someone can say, "Hey, this is what happened to me. This is what I got out of it. This is myself." And you say, "Oh, this is what happened this week." But I give God praise because this has happened. I've grown. That could be a way of saying that. That's like honoring God or recognizing God. So you can look at that as a form of giving God praise and worshiping Him. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
No, it makes perfect sense. Good job.
it's just a different form of recognizing God and a different form of learning about God. Because we may not per se, a night it might not be okay. We're going to turn to John or whatever, and we're going to read all these different scriptures, which is fine and that's awesome. Sometimes we'll do that, but sometimes it's what we'll do is give a person a chance to share and say, hey, I'm going through a hard time, or a person's going through a hard time. And a lot of times I may not even say anything or respond much, but I'll be able to get fed just by listening to somebody. Because I think, oh man, I can be saying, oh man, I had a terrible week, or man, a bad situation. It just happened today or yesterday or whatever. But I hear somebody else like, man, that's a worse scenario than I'm going through, and that could be a ministry to me. It's like, you know what? Quit stop feeling sorry for yourself. Sure, we're all going through issues and dealing with our own pain, but it's nice to listen to somebody else and to take that opportunity to encourage that person. Instead of being just a sponge all the time, it's nice to be able to give back and encourage people. That's probably the biggest thing about this group is building friendships and bonding with people and building relationships and being God-centered. And you can walk up and saying, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? How's your situation? Without going into detail, people already know.
Well, yes, sir. It's awesome. Oh, I mean, you've answered everything on here. That
Now you can throw another question in there. I'm fired up now.
What
So
I like to know is,
sorry for getting distracted here because all this tape.
oh, I'm sorry, man. It was a lot. There was a lot of moisture, but we'll edit all this out. Don't worry about it. I'd like to ask if there's someone that's on the fence about coming to the group. What would you tell them?
If somebody was thinking about going to the group,
Yeah.
well, I was just talking to a friend of mine today that I haven't seen in 15 years, and I told him, I said, hey, this is what our group's about. We're open, we're encouraging, we're transparent. You know that, like we in the beginning say, hey, we're not going to go out there in public say, hey, or hey, Ron, what's up with this situation? It's personal. We're building friendships. The biggest thing is that we're 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, whatever guys, depending on that night. I say this is a good chance for you to get to know people, and to be able to open up, learn from other people, and I think the biggest testimony is I tell them how much I get out of it. Like I was meeting this friend of mine, like I said, for lunch, Tim, and I said, I because you can say all you want about something, but what have I gotten out of it? Because that's the biggest testimony. So, I've got a lot out of it. I've grown a lot. It's been great for me. And if they're going through something, they're going to say, well, shoot, if it's worked for Ron or if it's worked for whoever, and I'm using that as a testimony, people, and they know your expression, and they know your honesty, and they know your personality. That speaks volumes more than just, it's kind of like theory versus practice.
Yeah, by example.
Right.
They see the change.
And there's different age groups in there. I mean, you can be, there's some guys that have brought in their sons. Some guys have brought their dad. I mean, shoot, what the heck? So, but everybody has their own issues, but it's easy to think that, oh, it's all me, poor me. It's all, it's all about me, my problems. That's one thing that's really unique about the group, and it's awesome about the group. It makes it different than a lot of other groups because it gives a person a chance to talk. You can go around like I say, going around the horn, going around the table. Okay, Bob or Tim or Eddie or whatever, or whoever it is. Say, hey, what's up? How you doing? What's going on in your, how's your week going? And most of the people already know. Most people already know, and
Edit out.
and because people get to know each other and the relationships and the personalities. And say, oh, how's the fight? Is it still going? People know the regulars. I haven't been going that much because I'm trying to move back, but there's a way that they could. Sorry, I get distracted by the guys in the group.
They're making faces. That's all right, man. Go ahead.
But no, it's. I don't think I'm making any sense, but it's nice because, like I said earlier, if you don't want to talk, you can just listen.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's going through something, you can say, hey, dude, I'm praying for you. Hey, I'm sorry. Or if it's something relating to what you experienced, say, you know what, this is what I've done. But there's nothing worse than somebody like judging you or saying, oh, what you did was wrong. Nobody's perfect. Only God is perfect. But anyways.
No, that's awesome, man. You've gone above and beyond the questions that you asked, which is awesome.
No problem.
Anything else you want to add before we?
I would encourage the group. I would encourage any male, any age, any male, to get involved in the group. Check out the group, and if they don't feel comfortable to talk, then at least to go and listen. I remember when I started going to divorce care class. I mean, in the beginning, it's very, it's fresh, and it's a lot of times it's more painful, and a lot of time and it's tearful, and it's really hurtful because it's like I said, it's fresh, it's new. Something could have just happened to somebody, or they could have, anyways. And it's nice to be able to hear somebody what they're going through because you can support them, but it's also a chance to let it out, to express it instead of holding it in. And over time you grow and you heal and you go through that process of growing and healing and like I said, there's times that I'll text Bob or somebody else in the group and say, hey, pray for me. I did that just the other day. Hey, I'm doing this. Pray for me. Pray for that situation.